Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. This time I'm in my car. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm waiting to pick up my son, and I thought I need to get this one out for you because it's really important and I didn't want to forget it. So I was having an earlier conversation with a broker. They've got about 100 agents in the East Coast. I'm in the West Coast. And we're talking about how to connect faster and better with clients. It doesn't matter if it's a seller or a buyer, outside of the normal thing, which is the seller is looking for what? They're looking for the best price, the best terms as fast as possible, right? And the buyer's always looking for the best home for the least amount of price and the best terms. Outside of those things, right? These subliminal things sometimes. And I thought, man, I'm going to bring this up in a group coaching session. In fact, in a Brilliant Tribe, but you know what? I want to do a quick podcast, so here I am. These are meant to be 5 minutes long. Motivation, actionable steps. Here we go. Number one, the one thing that's always on my mind when I'm trying to connect with somebody as fast as possible is, how can I show that I'm trustworthy? How can I show to the person that I'm talking to that they can trust me without saying trust me, right? Because that's like the total opposite. It's how I show up. It's the voice I'm using, tonality. It's how I approach the situation. In some cases, it could also be how you dress. And how confident are you? And that takes preparation. So for me, the very first one that I'm talking about is trust. Trust is actually extremely important. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that's the number one thing for me. Number two, which doesn't often get talked about, and we do bring this up on both on the listing side and on the seller side. Here it is, number two. My connections, or your connections, your broker's connections. See, this becomes extremely important in the world we live in when you're working with buyers post NAR settlement. Now I can tell you, Mrs. Buyer, listen, I've been in the business for a while, or your brokerage has been here for a while. We do have a lot of friends here. We do a lot of business and we connect with people at a high level because we're great to get along with. So these other agents that I work with, they often tell me, Tristan, I've got this and this coming out. It's not on the market yet. Do you have anyone for it? Or here's the best scenario for you, Mrs. Buyer. We got your offer. We have 2 other offers. But Tristan, I love working with you. You guys are always so easy and on top of everything. So as long as the terms are all the same, I'm going to go to bat for you, Tristan. And I hear that so often. Why? Because we treat other agents great. I value those relationships, right? And we forget to talk about that. So I'm telling you right now, that becomes extremely important. Okay, and number 3, this one you've probably heard, but regardless, here it is. Show that you have experience. Show that you have knowledge. And you show that by coming prepared. Like, show all the numbers. Usually you'll attract or connect better with the analyticals, but still, people want to know that you understand this local market, like you understand this area, you know all about it. So study the area. Study the area so people are like, oh man, this person knows everything. Even that home that I didn't know sold off market. That's crazy that you brought that one up. And then they'll believe a lot easier what their price point should be, or how the market truly is for a buyer. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this one. Those are the 3. Have an awesome day. I'm going to go pick up my son.